Alright my friends, so it's time for us to go ahead and pass the information from the photo list all the way to the photo item so we can display something to the user. With that being said, let's get started. So the first, we already know that all the informations for any photo that we will get from the photos here, it's been stored inside this photo right here. So I can pass it as a props for the photo item, and from our photo item we can receive it and deal with it as we wish. So I'm gonna pass a props called photo, and I'm gonna assign the value of it to be photo, which is this thing right here. And now I have passed all the information for each photo to the photo item component. So here inside my photo item, I'm gonna destructure it right here inside my props and receive any photo props. Now what I will do for testing purposes, let's go ahead and log to the console the photo that we will get. All right, and if we switch back, and here is the console, we will see these objects being printed. Okay, this array comes from the photo list, you can see right here, but we have these lines, these objects comes from the photo item. So we are printing the photo item or the photo, the props that we have passed from the photo list. Now what we can do, we can go ahead and let's say display all the information that we want in our markup. Now let's expand one of these and talk more about what types of information that we want to display. Because if you take a look here on the final result, I am displaying an image, okay, the created time, the updated time, the likes, as well as the name of the user or the photographer that is or they're responsible for this image, right? So if we take a look and expand one of these, we can see the created time, the updated time, we can see the likes right here, these three informations. We have only the image, which I can access if you take a look on here, this URLs. All right, I'm gonna expand the URLs. We can see all these kinds of information for the image. I can get different size depending on the image that I want. For example, we have small, we have regular, we have full, and so on. So all these images, they are the exact same image but with different size. So with that make a lot of sense. So the only part is missing. I'm just gonna add my markup and go ahead and fill it with the information. So I'm gonna remove the console.log. Here we have our photo item. I'm gonna remove it, and here I'm just gonna return some multiple JSX. So the first thing first, I'm gonna create a div and give it a class as I go. I'm just gonna call it photo underscore underscore image container, because this is the first div that will hold the image. And we can go ahead and display image directly, but I think I'm gonna stick with this one. I'm gonna create an img tag. All right, I'm gonna give it a class name. All right, so class name should equal to photo underscore underscore image, and this div right here will be responsible for the first thing right here, for the image I mean. All right, and we have the, I'm gonna create a div that will hold these four informations, the time as well as the likes and the name. So I'm gonna create a div. So let's go ahead and do that. Add a div. I'm just gonna give the class name. Okay, and let's call it photo content. All right, photo content like this. Let's leave it empty. I mean, we are not gonna display any information. We are just gonna add the markup. All right, so I'm gonna add a b tag for each one of these. All right, so we can add spans, you can add h1s, whatever, feel free to do so. I'm just gonna give it a class name to be photo underscore underscore time. All right, and the photo time will be the same for these two, okay, for the created and updated, okay, because I want to use a common class for these. So photo time, and here I need another b. I'm just gonna give it a class name to be photo likes. Makes sense. And the last one will be the p, or we can use a span or h3, whatever. I'm just gonna give it a class name to be photo underscore user. all right, like this. So once again, let's discuss about that. We have a div that will be responsible for the image right here. We have a div right here which hold these four informations, and the last thing that we want to do, it is a div for these two buttons, for these two A's, I should say. So I'm gonna add a div. I'm gonna assign a class immediately. Let's call it photo buttons. All right, so photo underscore buttons, like this, and this one will has two A's. All right, so I mean A's anchor tag, and the one who has a class to be a photo link, let's say, or photo underscore btn, and I'm just gonna duplicate this one right here. So this is the markup that I'm going to use for my photo item component. Feel free to go ahead and grab any type of information that I want from here and create a markup for it. In this video, I'm just gonna stick with these types of information. I think they are really cool, and I'm just gonna stick with them. This is the markup, and the only part is missing is to fill this markup with some information so we can get dynamic content. So that's what we are going to do in the next video. Thank you, my friends, so much for watching. See you in the next one.